Hi, I'm Dafara with NKT Studios. In this video, we'll be going over and writing our first C# program, that is, a Hello World program in C#. Now, before we dive in and get our hands dirty, there are two concepts that I need to highlight. These concepts are fundamental to each and every C# program that we will ever write. The concepts are the .NET Framework and Namespaces. The .NET Framework is a programming infrastructure created by Microsoft for building, deploying, and running applications and services that use .NET technologies. Example of applications are desktop applications, and example of services are web services. The .NET Framework is made up of different components. But for the purposes of our example, we are just going to focus on two components. The components are the class library and the common language runtime, commonly known as the CLR. The class library is the collective name for the thousands of classes that compose the .NET Framework. Simply put, the class library is the thousands of classes that Microsoft has written for us to give us functionality such as input, output, file and network, definition of basic types and collections, interaction with DBs, and things like that. The common language runtime is a runtime environment that manages the execution of .NET program code and provides services such as memory and exception management, debugging, profiling, as well as security. It acts as a bubble for our code. Namespaces. Simply put, it means how we organize our classes. This therefore means that a namespace is a collection of related classes. To give a real-world example of namespaces, think of them as a bookshelf. A namespace has a lot of classes, just as a bookshelf contains a lot of books. The other thing to note about namespaces is that they are used for differentiation. That is, they are used to provide a way to keep one set of class names separate from another. For example, say NKT Studios has a class called Hello World in their own namespace. It will not cause problems if it is used in a program with your own class called Hello World in your own namespace. Because of the namespaces, the program will know which one is being referred to at a particular time. With the concepts covered, let's go and write our C# program. So what we want to do is to launch our Visual Studio. I've got it here in my taskbar, so I'm just going to click to launch. When it boots up, it will open up this page. You can either click here for new project or file, new, and new project. What we see here is the templates that Visual Studio has got for us. So depending on the application that we want to build, we will select the requisite template. So for example, you've got a Windows Forms application, you've # a WPF application, and you've got an ASP.NET application. This is of course under C#. If you were building using a different language like Visual F#, there'll be other tools for that, or Visual Basic, there'll be also the same templates. So we're using C#, so we go back to C#, and then we're going to create a console application. We're using a console application because it's got the least number of items, which helps us understand the syntax of the C# program, other than if we're doing a forms application, because the template will bring in a lot of other things that we may not understand at this point. After selecting the console application, you come down here to give it the name. So we're simply going to put in Hello World. Spaces are allowed, so it's just your operating system defined naming conventions that apply here. So this will be the name of the project, and then here this will be the name of the solution. The idea is that you can have many projects within a solution. And in the middle text box here, this is the location where it's going to be saved. So you can save it anywhere you want, just remember the place that you would have saved. So after putting in the name, you just click on OK. It will create the console application template. So this is the console application template, and it's a template in the sense that it's given us all of these things, which are basic things that you would expect in a console application. On the right side, there is what is written here as the Solution Explorer, which basically lists the solution as well as the project. Remember, our project name and solution name were the same, so it shows up like this. But if we were to have more projects in the same solution, it will be written the number of projects. So this shows you that you can have many projects in a solution. So if you don't have this Solution Explorer, what you just need to do is go to View and then click on Solution Explorer. It will come up. It just highlights the various components of your solution as well as the projects in the solution. So what we have here is namespace hello world, which means that our classes are going to be organized in this namespace called hello world. Straight after that, you've got an opening brace paired with this one, and all of these things are within those opening and closing braces. What this means is that whatever we write has to be contained within a namespace. After that, we've got a class program. This is just one class that is within our namespace, and after this you get an opening brace which is also paired with this one. So what it means is that every piece of code that you're going to write will have to be contained within a class, and every class will have to be contained within a namespace. Then what we have here is called a method, which is covered in a future lecture, but this is typically where we want to write our own code. After the method, you also have opening braces, and then they are paired with the closing braces. This is where we're going to write our code. So what we want to do is put your cursor here, press enter, type console dot write line, open bracket, put in quotes, and then type in hello world, and then put in a semicolon at the end. This, ladies and gentlemen, is our first C# program, which will print out the word hello world to the console. So to run, you can either click on start here or debug and start debugging. It will start building the program here, and when it's done, it will pop up a black window with the words hello world. I hope you saw that there was a fast black flicker on the screen, which means that our program executed and it finished. To actually see the words hello world on the screen, what we need to do is to make the program wait for user input before it exits. To do that, we have to type in an extra line of code, which is console dot read line. As explained before, console.readline will wait for any user input before it exits. So if we were to run our program again, we'll see now hello world is displayed and the program is waiting for user input. To make the program exit, what you have to do is just press enter and the program will exit. Just to review what we are seeing on the screen, we wrote two lines of code, console.writeLine and console.readLine. What this means is that we've got a class called console, which has got a method called writeLine, which accepts parameters. That is the things that is going to print to the screen. We've also got another method called readLine, which is part of the same class called console. So now you might be wondering, where did we get console? Console was provided for us by Microsoft, and it is in the system namespace. From the template, we remember all these 5 using statements were given for us, meaning that it was assuming that we're going to use some of these functionalities, but we just ended up using system only. So you can actually delete this and the program will still work, because all the other using statements we didn't use classes from them. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video.